Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Defender's Quest, Valley of the Forgotten. I wanted to start on the title screen just for a second, because in this episode I'm going to talk about the Book of the Secrets and the Strange Monument. And to get the Book of Secrets, there's a yellow button right here underneath the Start and Quit or buttons that says Secrets, and it's question mark, and that's, you click on that and you can go through some dialogue with the developers, and you'll get the Book of Face, the Anonymous book, and the Book of Secrets. And then last time I left off, I also said I would start again on a new game plus with no generic recruits, and that's this. There are 90 stars available in a single playthrough, so I have all of the stars, and you can see my level differences quite a bit, and yeah, my level is quite a bit higher. But I'm going to go back into the original playthrough, and you can, that's one of the neat things about this game, is you can play in your original playthrough and New Game Plus at the same time. So even after I start a New Game Plus, I can come back to this if I want to grind or whatever. But I want to go over to the Strange Monument here and talk about that for a little bit. So the teeth here correspond to the keyboard, the letters of the keyboards. 26 keys for the 26 letters on the alphabet. And the fingers over here correspond with the numbers 1 through 0. And the eyes correspond with arrows, left, up, right, down. And the flute corresponds with the space bar. Just a tap it for a short tune, and hold it a little bit for a longer note. And I'm not gonna lie, I cheated to figure out the codes for this. And this is codes. You enter codes with these different types of input, and you get skulls, golden skulls and unobtainium skulls. Unobtainium skulls are the kind of neat. The description, I already bought the books with them. You buy books with them, but the description on the unobtainium skulls is pretty neat. It says they're named unobtainium, and therefore you cannot obtain them. You've actually had them the whole time. You just didn't take notice of them. But I did look up the codes. I'm not going to spoil them, or I'm going to try not to spoil them. Some of them are like written in Braille, and some of them are written in Morse code. That's what the flute is for, short and long. And some of them are just words, and some of them are number sequences or sequences of arrows and letters and stuff. And then when you get a code correct, the heart will light up, and you just click it and you get a skull, the skull that pertains to that code. And down here on the left there will be a 3 question marks button, and that basically opens up a shop that has these books. Not these particular books. Let's see. The Book of Blood. All defenders and enemies except Azra and bosses are permanently bleeding. Perhaps you should take this book with you on your next adventure. That one you get for 3 golden skulls. Book of Synergy. Ice, water, and fire no longer cancel. Perhaps you should take this book with you on your next adventure. The side tax is 15%. And I don't know, that could be kind of useful, but I don't know if that side tax is 15% just to Azra's spells, or if it's to summoning characters and boosting them as well. So I probably won't use either of those. And then the Book of Plagues. All defenders except Azra can't regenerate, and all enemies except bosses are permanently toxic. So I probably won't use that one either. And then the Valley of the Forgotten. This book has no magical powers, but is instead an autobiography. It tells the story of a young Ashani librarian who survives an epidemic only to find herself trapped in a plague colony. It is written in the form of a journal with many illustrations drawn with improvised materials such as charcoal, tea, plant extracts, and blood. Perhaps you should take this book with you on your next adventure. And this Obviously, it was written by Azra herself, a Shani librarian. And this is the one you purchased with the unobtainium skulls, which you already had. So you probably already, well, you obviously already had the book too, because she wrote it. These other books, you may have noticed, I have some new books. The Book of Daring. Defenders cannot be resummoned once defeated or recalled in battle. This one you get for completing or reaching round or wave 60 in the Endless 2 challenge, the second Endless challenge. I'll demonstrate those if I can figure out how to complete them on the New Game Plus. And the Crystal Patch, I believe you get from the 4th bonus challenge. Azra begins the level surrounded by several crystals, and Explosive Start you get from the 5th bonus challenge. And it's quite difficult, but this book is extremely useful. Summoning and boosting defenders causes a small explosion. And I have the Book of Secrets equipped because I did wander around trying to figure out some of the tips for the Strange Monument on my own before I cheated, but realizing after I looked, realizing what I would have needed to know to be able to figure any of it out, I wouldn't have gotten more than maybe a couple of them. I wouldn't have been able to get any of those books. You need to know Braille and Morse code and ASCII computer language. But Storm the Sheep, I'm going to show how you know where there are hints located. On the normal difficulty here, you click begin, and right up here you can see that little flash, the blue and then the red flash. That's your hint. That's what tells you that there's something on this map that is a hint. And I know what it is, but as I said, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to leave the battle here. Watching the battle is not going to give anything away. I just don't want to take the time to do that. I will post a link to the wiki that I got the information from, and there are spoilers there, but they do a good job of concealing those for people that don't want to be spoiled. If you just want to be pointed in the right direction, then you can take a look at that, or you can try to figure it out all on your own as well. And then the bonus battles. So challenge 4, you get the Crystal Patch. Challenge 5, you get Explosive Start. This is challenge 5 is probably the most difficult one on here for me. Endless 2 is pretty tough too, to reach wave 60 to get that book. I reached wave 67. I didn't clear those. Most of the enemies for the last 5 waves were still on the map when Azra finally died. So I might have killed all the enemies for wave 60 or 61 or maybe 62, but that's about it. They get to be pretty tough. But I'm not maxed out either. Something else I want to talk about really quick. I want to show this. Back on the Storm the Sheep map. And I will demonstrate this battle in the New Game Plus. But I just want to show the enemy here really quickly. This Super Sheep. Yeah, look at that. Look at how much hit points he has. 10 million hit points. He moves really slow. He's immune to pretty much everything that we care about. And he will demolish Azra. Mythically delicious mammal. Dragon legends speak of this rare sheep, the Axima Vada Muta Naxor. In hushed reverent tones, and the sacred dragon scriptures detail an elaborate ritual to be performed at its arrival. Traditional scholarship groups the dragon scriptures with other religious texts, but new research suggests it to be reclassified as a cookbook. So my strategy basically is I stick him over there, or whoever you want to kill the sheep that spawn out of this. That's where all your size is going to come from. Then I just chase the sheep around with my other characters, and whoever I put him there because he's not quite as useful as the other characters to actually deal damage to the super sheep. And then with him there, you don't need to boost him at all either, so you can save psi with that. You just put your characters where they can hit him and boost them, and then when he runs out of reach, recall, put him back down again, boost him, and here I'm going to demonstrate the explosive start here. It's a nice little burst of damage there. Something that he's not immune to is bleed, and he's taking an extra 60% damage from that. But I'm not going to go through that whole battle. I just wanted to show him off. This is another one of the hardest stars in the game to get. That battle and this second to last one were the last two stars I obtained. They were super hard to get. But then my party, I want to look at my parties. I have his rage maxed out for that 60% bonus to damage there. So his build is a little bit different. And he has Evney. I did have Evney. You might have noticed that I have quite a bit of money. And Keta, I maxed Poison Shot and Deep Shot for those effects as well. And these builds are pretty much for that fight with the sheep, because it doesn't attack back, so I didn't need to worry about defense or anything. It was all just straight attacks. Armor Pierce here, I might reset Keta's points to reset that. Marcos, I think, is the same. Bakal is the same, except higher levels, so I have more points. With all of them, of course. Pretty sure that's the same. I got Fireball and Fire Breath maxed. And then I think I'm starting on Bite. And Epic Halitosis is the next thing there. And then with Azra, I maxed Dragonfire and Pushback. And then just started going evenly on the rest of these. It was really challenging for me not to also max Frenzy, but then I didn't have hardly any points left to distribute among those three things. I think that's it. So yeah, I'll put the link for the wiki there for the Strange Monument in the description. And then when I come back, we'll begin the New Game Plus. Thanks for watching.